If I woke up tomorrow 20 pounds overweight, this is exactly what I would do. Hi, my name is Clinton and I've been practicing a fruit-based lifestyle for 13 years. It's completely transformed my life, given me better energy, helped me stay effortlessly lean, and helped me resolve my chronic cystic boil issue that I was dealing with from the age of 16. So forever grateful. So part of the problem in regards to losing weight is people rely too much on motivation. Yes, motivation is handy because you need to have a strong why to overcome the how in which you are dealing with. A lot of people already have a strong reason as to why they want to go on this journey. Maybe they want to be able to have energy to play with their kids. Maybe they want to fit in a wedding dress. Maybe they're about to go on holiday. They want to look fly, etc. They want to look fit and all these different reasons why people want to do it. Maybe you've seen family members die from heart disease and strokes, etc. So you don't want that to be you. People already know why they want to eat healthier. However, they don't have a plan. So whenever they wake up, they ask, what am I going to eat for breakfast? What am I going to eat for lunch? What am I going to eat for dinner? They look online and they see 1,000 different diets, and someone is doing keto, someone is doing intermittent fasting, someone is doing fruit only, etc. So they're confused. They don't know what to do. Someone is doing the nutritarian or vegetables for breakfast, Chef AJ style. So they're confused. What I would do is fruit for breakfast, because fruit for breakfast is gonna give you energy. It's gonna feel light. It's gonna be something you can eat as much as you want, and it's going to curb the sugar cravings. Because I know for me, whenever I was growing up, I was obsessed with sweets. During Lent, my drawer at the very end of Lent would just be filled with sweets. I love sweets that much. So I need something to be able to satisfy my need for sweet. And fruit, especially fruit smoothies, can do this perfectly. So things like ripe bananas, things like dates. Dates is my favorite. Putting that in a smoothie with like berries, etc., or greens, that is exactly what I would do for my breakfast. And the good thing about fruit is low fat, and because it's a simple carbohydrate, it's going to give you tons of energy, which if I was maybe eating in such a way where I gained a lot of weight, I probably am lacking energy. So that is exactly how I would eat for breakfast. Lunch, I would have another fruit meal. For lunch, I would have another fruit meal. And the main reason I'd have another fruit meal is because, again, it allows you to be better hydrated, better energy. It's meeting the need for sweet. So you're just removing all desire for cakes, buns, cookies, etc. And you could also throw things like greens in there, like spinach, kale, coriander, lettuce, for extra micronutrients. And I would actually favor green smoothies because it's more dense, more thick, especially if I was someone who is a volume eater. Adding loads of greens to a sweet smoothie, this helps, gives you extra satiation. It helps for extra sort of staying power, makes you feel really full. And then that can allow me to have this continued high vibrational energy while also being more satiated, starting getting more vitamins and minerals into my system, and go from there. When it comes to dinner, what I would do is I would have a whole food plant-based dish centered around vegetables, leafy greens, and potatoes. And this is because those three foods groups that I just mentioned, you can eat them in abundance. They can satisfy your savory need, especially the potatoes. Potatoes are ranked one of the most satiating foods in the world. And if you see Andrew Taylor, he lived on nothing but just potatoes, and he lost 50 kilograms in 1 year. So that's 100 pounds. Because potatoes are in the ground, they don't have also the level of anti-nutrients that grains and beans do. And because of their vitamin C content and their water content, they resemble fruit the most out of any sort of complex carbohydrate that you can consume. I remember the first time I did something very similar to this, I ended up losing weight. And I was like, wait a minute, I've lost weight. I wasn't even trying. I had so much more energy whenever I actually did this, and I actually lost weight. I was shocked. In terms of exercise, what I would do is I would aim to walk 5,000 steps per day for a week initially, just to sort of get my legs used to it. And then I would graduate up to 10,000 steps every single day, listening to a health audio or listening to positive affirmations about health, life, etc. as I do that. But also meditate for 5, 10, 15, or even 20 minutes every single day, just to be able to help my brain rewire to the new way of eating without old thoughts, old habits, old intuition, old inspirations getting in there. That doesn't mean it's going to be perfectly smooth sailing, but the meditation will help keep you to the present moment so that you can actually act from the present instead of longing, old ways. And the last thing I would mainly focus on is getting good, consistent sleep, aiming to go to bed at the same time every single day. If I'm sleep deprived, my decisions aren't going to be as best as they could versus being sharp, being aware, being alert. A lot of the times when people are sleep deprived, they choose just junkier foods, more processed foods, more high-fat foods, etc. Because they're tired, they lack just the willpower, etc. They may even have a plan, but they don't even want to follow the plan because they're just too apathetic, etc. So I would do my best to get consistent sleep. That will also aid the fat burning process and just give you better motivation, better energy to then be able to do the steps in and just maintain a more positive attitude along the journey. So there's also more to this, such as what foods, what to have in your shopping list, the quantities, etc., what to buy. This is why I've created an ebook called Fruits, Roots, and Greens to explain just that. So if you would like a 30-day framework with meal plans, recipes, lifestyle guidance, and a shopping list, you can find it in the description section below. And if you want accountability, support, community, and challenges, then you can join Fruit World in the link section below, where the reset is also included.